Hey, welcome to The Explainer. So, let's talk about something that's on pretty much everyone's mind right now. How do we actually use generative AI? I mean, for real. It's not just a fancy search engine, and it's definitely not a magic box that just gives you answers. We're going to reframe this whole thing as a new kind of partnership, an idea called co-intelligence.
So let me ask you something. What if your new coworker was, well, a genius? I mean, unbelievably brilliant, super eager to help, but also completely and totally naive. Like, they have zero real-world experience, no common sense, and they're maybe a little too sure of themselves. How would you manage a person like that? Well, understanding that is the key to working with AI.
The best way to think about generative AI is to see it as your new intern. Now, that's not a put-down. It's actually a really powerful way to think about it. This intern has read basically everything ever written and is always ready to go. But just like a real intern, it needs your guidance. It needs your oversight. It needs you, the expert, to give it clear directions, because it's definitely going to make some simple mistakes along the way.
And that brings us right to our first big idea. If you've ever managed an intern, or anyone junior for that matter, you know this already. The work they give you is only as good as the instructions you gave them. It's the same exact thing with your AI intern. You know the old saying, garbage in, garbage out? It's never been more true. Let's see what this actually looks like.
Okay, just look at the difference here. The prompt on the left, write about the benefits of AI, is super vague. And you know what you'll get? A really generic, kind of boring essay. But now, look at the prompt on the right. Just by adding two simple things, a format, which is a blog post, and a target audience, small business owners, you've given it critical context, guardrails, and you could make it even better. You could specify the tone, the goal, or even key points you want it to hit. That specificity, that's your superpower.
And look, this isn't a one-and-done kind of thing. You don't just take the very first thing your AI intern hands you. You've got to treat it like a first draft. This is all about the back and forth. You give it the first instruction, you review what you get back, and then you give it specific feedback. You know, something like, okay, this is a good start, but make the second section punchier and add a stat about market growth. You have it try again. That loop, that refinement process, that's where the real magic happens.
All right, so you've given the task, and you have that first draft back in your hands. Now what? Well, now your job is to put on your editor hat. And I'm not kidding. This might be the single most important step in this whole process, because your AI intern has a really specific and honestly a kind of dangerous flaw. This right here is the heart of the problem. Your AI doesn't know what it doesn't know. It will state something that's completely false with the exact same level of confidence as it states a fact. It's not actually trying to lie to you, it's just a prediction machine, right? It's finishing a pattern based on all the data it was trained on. This confident incompetence means you can never, ever just take what it says at face value. You've got to check. So what does that mean for you? It means you need a checklist. When you're looking at what the AI gave you, you are the final fact checker. Are the facts actually correct, especially for really recent events that might not have been in its training data? Does the text have hidden biases that it just sort of absorbed from the internet? And here's the weirdest one. Did it just make stuff up? These hallucinations, invented quotes, made-up sources, fake data, they're surprisingly common. Your critical eye is the only safety net here.
This all leads us to our third big point, building a real partnership. This isn't about you doing all the work or the AI doing all the work. It's about a really smart division of labor, understanding who's good at what. That's the foundation of this whole co-intelligence idea.
Think about it like this. You delegate certain tasks to your AI intern. Things like brainstorming a ton of ideas, summarizing a long document, or, creating that first draft. It's amazing at speed and scale. But you, the human expert, you keep the tasks that require real intelligence. You make the final judgment calls, you handle the ethics, you understand the nuance and the strategy. Basically, you own the what and the why, and you let the AI help you with the how.
And that brings us to the most important number in this entire explainer. 100%. That is exactly how much responsibility you hold for anything you create using AI. If there's a factual error, a bias statement, a copyright problem, that's on you. The AI is a tool, that's it. It's like a calculator. You wouldn't blame the calculator for a mistake in your math, right? You'd check your own work. The same exact principle applies here.
So when you put all these pieces together, the art of giving great instructions, Having that critical editor's mindset and a really clear division of roles, we stop just managing an intern. We start building something way more powerful. We start building a true co-intelligence.
And this really is the big takeaway. Working with AI is not a competition. This technology isn't here to take your job or replace your expertise. It's here to amplify it. It's a tool that can take care of the grunt work, which frees you up to focus on the high-level, creative, and strategic thinking that we humans do best. It's here to make you faster, more creative, and just plain better at what you do.
So I'll just leave you with this one question. Your brilliant, super eager, slightly naive AI intern is sitting there, ready and waiting for its first task. Now that you know how to manage it, how to guide it, how to really partner with it, what are you going to build together? Thanks for watching.